Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Diego Blasi, and I'm Chief of Staff of the Regional Council of Tuscany, Iacopo Melio. Participating for the second consecutive year in Accessibility Expo is a great honor. I thank the organizer, Excellent and Kriya, for the invitation and bring the greetings of Councillor Melio, who, unfortunately, for little reason, will not be able to participate this year as Central Edition. In this regard, before making a little in-depth analysis for the team of accessible mobility in Tuscany, I would like to read you these few lines of greeting written by Councillor Melio. Unfortunately, due to health problems, I cannot connect with you today. I want to bring you my greetings and thank you for creating precious opportunities like this one, where differences remained a fundamental protagonist in sharing different experiences and realities, producing constant motivation and inspiration over time. And I sincerely hope that these issues of accessibility is not forgotten and becomes increasingly central in the lives of all citizens. In the last year, me and the Tuscany region commitment has been confirmed supporting people with disabilities, both the Tuscany regions, physically and psychologically, through specific intervention to improve the quality of life of those living in fragility. At the same time, the fight against architectural barriers intensified. A structured path has been officially developed to enhance accessible tourism in our territory, rich in art, culture, and tradition, involving the institution and infrastructure dedicated to catering and hospitality. We are throughout aware that not enough has culturally changed in Italy since our meeting at the edition of the Accessibility Expo here in Dubai, where I had the pleasure of being connected, and much more needs to be done so that disability is ideally included in society. For this reason, I wish to renew my invitation to you not only to discover the beauties of the region of Tuscany. It's possible to improve and develop through a careful and aware policy that tries every day to rebuild as many places as possible to everyone needs, collaborating with the government to consolidate a valuable connection to both our realities, combining the modern development of Dubai with the historic Tuscany experience. In fact, our voices together can continue to be a strong signal of openness and collaboration to convey better the universality of specific needs and the importance of shared vision capable of overcoming boundaries. It is with this certain today that the present people have become more aware and determined to build a world tailored everyone without leaving anyone behind. I send you my greeting, hoping to meet you again soon. Enjoy your work and good Accessibility Expo from Iacopo Melio. So, I would like to briefly dwell on the strategies the government of Tuscany is adopting to ensure inclusive mobility for all. Our territory, in particular Florence and the other important historic cities, given the unique characteristics of the land and the numerous monuments, and not easy to visit for the people with reduced mobility. But over the years, our region has made great strides to guarantee everyone the same possibilities. Arriving and visit Tuscany today is more accessible and safer than before. The region, for example, has already introduced for years, in contact with the local public transport service managers, explicit provision designed to strengthen passenger rights on all possibility in public transport, because all people, regardless of physical condition, must have the same possibilities in using means of transportation. The constant renewal of trains, I which the region has invested strongly, constitutes an immediate improvement in accessibility to the public rail for transport service. In recent years, agreements have been signed with the rail network manager to ensure the investment and action necessary to improve the quality of service. These documents also include activities and the commitment to better accessibility of the station and the trains that perform the service. Another great area on which the Tuscany region is doing important work concerns the development of accessibility of the marines. The accessibility of ports to people with disabilities, physical, sensory, and cognitive, is a topic of great attention, not only because it represents an element of equity, but also because it is essential to promote sustainable tourism for disabled and elderly citizens. According to a recent Eurostat study, the potential demand for accessible tourists in Europe is estimated at 127 million people, 46 million people with some form of disability, plus about 81 million people over 65. We're talking about like 70% of the European population, and obviously a number that is destined to grow if go way beyond Europe, I think, a word. The Tuscany region, for this reason, began undertaking area or intervention aimed at eliminating situation of risk, obstacle, or impediment to mobility deriving architectural sensory barriers in the port area, also through the provision of the new equipment. In the 2 years, 2021-2022, considerable resources have been allocated to the municipalities to implement intervention to make public port areas accessible to people with disabilities or reduced mobility. In particular, projects have been financed to ensure the safety of internal routers to the port spaces connecting to the piers, public service, for example, office, bedroom, or business service like open the public, bars, restaurant, shop, and more, which are all essential development projects to break down architectural barriers and ensure maximum accessibility of the region. Tourism is not only trade and production, but also culture and hospitality. For Tuscany, which makes tourism almost like 10% of its regional GDP, tourism means enhancing quality of hospitality. In addition, tourism means make every place accessible and usable for everyone, from restaurants to hotels, museums, bathing establishments, and parks. The strategies to make local public transport accessible to all are the center of the government action in our region. Because, how Iacopo says, disability is not exist. The lack of suitable service does not allow everyone to have a dignified everyday life. And from this concept, we must create a world where everyone has the same opportunities. Thank you for all. I've enjoyed your work.